let us discuss about various structures that are present within the cell wall and cell membrane. Already we have noted down the structure and function of the cell wall as well as cell membrane. So within the cell wall and cell membrane, there is a fluidy matrix. The volume of a cell is filled with the fluidy matrix known as cytoplasm. And cytoplasm consists of various cell organelles, nucleus as well as cell inclusions. When we have discussed about the overview of a cell, we have noted down that within the cell boundary, the cell has got cell boundary, cytoplasm and the nucleus. Cell boundary mainly comprises cell wall and cell membrane. Within the cell boundary, there is a fluidy matrix known as cytoplasm, and in the cytoplasm, there is a distinct cell organelle or structure known as nucleus. In addition to nucleus, there are various other subcellular structures known as cell organelles and certain cell inclusions. So now let us discuss about various cell organelles that are found on the cytoplasm of a cell. So first let us discuss about the endomembrane system. We know that in the cytoplasm there are various cell organelles. Cell organelles are distinct structures and they have a definite function to play inside the cell, or they have a definite role in a cell. Among these cell organelles, there are certain cell organelles which have coordinated function. So what do you mean by that coordinated function? There are various cell organelles inside the cell or in the cytoplasm of a cell. Among these, some of the cell organelles and their functions are coordinated with each other. For example, the functions of endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes and vacuoles. The functions of these four cell organelles are coordinated with each other. Since the functions of these four cell organelles are coordinated with each other, they are included under a membranous system known as endomembrane system. Okay? So the members of endomembrane system or the cell organelles that are included under endomembrane system are endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes and vacuoles. So why we have included them as endomembrane system? Because their functions are coordinated. Their functions are coordinated. Since their functions are coordinated, they are the part of endomembrane system. But there are certain cell organelles like mitochondria, plastids, whose functions are not coordinated with each other and they are not a part of endomembrane system. So, cell organelles like mitochondria, plastids, since their functions are not coordinated, they are not a part of endomembrane system. They are not a part of endomembrane system. So first let us discuss about those cell organelles that are a part of endomembrane system. So among this, first let us discuss about the cell organelle endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is abbreviated as ER and it is first discovered by two of the scientists named Porter and Thomson in the year 1945. The term endoplasmic reticulum was given by a scientist named Porter in around 1953. So what is an endoplasmic reticulum? This endoplasmic reticulum is a network or reticulum of very tiny tubular structures. You can observe here, endoplasmic reticulum is a network of very tiny tubular structures. Okay? Especially in the cytoplasm of the cell. They are found in the cytoplasm of the cell. And you have to remember that this endoplasmic reticulum is continuous with the membrane of the nucleus. So this is the nucleus. Nucleus has got double membrane, an inner membrane and outer membrane. The endoplasmic reticulum is extensive and it is continuous with the outer membrane of nucleus. So remember that endoplasmic reticulum is a network of tiny tubular structures found in the cytoplasm of a cell, and they are almost found near the nucleus of a cell. And this endoplasmic reticulum are extensive and they are continuous with the outer membrane of the nucleus. So this endoplasmic reticulum divides the intracellular space. Intracellular space is space within the cell. So the space within the cell or intracellular space is divided by this endoplasmic reticulum into two compartments. So what are those two compartments? Where the endoplasmic reticulum divides the intracellular space. So endoplasmic reticulum divides the intracellular space into two compartments known as luminal compartment and extraluminal compartment. So where is luminal compartment? What is luminal compartment? Luminal compartment is formed inside the compartment that is formed inside the endoplasmic reticulum. Extraluminal compound, extra means outside. Extraluminal compartment is compartment that is found outside the endoplasmic reticulum. So what is there outside the endoplasmic reticulum? There is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. So cytoplasm represents the extraluminal compartment and luminal compartment is found inside the endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum divides the intracellular space of a cell into two compartments. They are luminal compartment and extraluminal compartment. So next let us discuss what are the types of endoplasmic reticulum that are found in a cell. Generally there are two kinds of endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum are of two types. They are smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. They are abbreviated as SER and RER. SER is smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is the endoplasmic reticulum that is not bound by ribosomes, whereas rough endoplasmic reticulum are those endoplasmic reticulum which have got ribosomes attached to its surface. So in case of endoplasmic reticulum, there are some endoplasmic reticulum. There are a type of endoplasmic reticulum which have ribosomes attached to its surface. So what do we call such endoplasmic reticulum as? They are called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Why they are called as rough endoplasmic reticulum? Because ribosomes are attached to their surface. So since ribosomes are attached to their surface, they are rough endoplasmic reticulum. Whereas in case of smooth endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are not bound to their membrane. So this is rough endoplasmic reticulum. These represent smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So note down, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum does not have ribosomes attached to its surface. Rough endoplasmic reticulum have ribosomes attached to its surface. So the smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum performs different function in a cell. So what is the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Smooth endoplasmic reticulum plays an important role in lipid synthesis. Lipid synthesis. So the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum is synthesis of lipids. Especially in animal cell, it synthesizes lipid-like steroidal hormones. Lipid-like steroidal hormones are synthesized in animal cell. Lipid-like steroidal hormones are synthesized especially in animal cells by smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So these are the functions of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So next let us see what is the function of rough endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum has got ribosomes attached to its surface, and you know that ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis. So the function of rough endoplasmic reticulum is synthesis of protein. Synthesis of protein. Why does it help in synthesis of protein? Because they have got ribosomes attached to their surface. So they play an important role in synthesis of protein. protein. So this is about endoplasmic reticulum. Next, let us discuss about one more cell organelle included under endomembrane system, that is Golgi complex. Now let us discuss about one more cell organelle included under endomembrane system, that is Golgi complex. Even though the Golgi complex was first seen by a scientist named George in around 1867, the credit of observation or recognition of Golgi complex goes to Camillo Golgi, and it is named after Camillo Golgi in the year 1898. Camillo Golgi was the first to observe these apparatus or these organelles as densely stained reticular structure that are found near the nucleus. Since he has clearly recognized and described about this Golgi complex as densely stained reticular structure that are found near the nucleus, the cell organelle is named after Camillo Golgi as Golgi complex. Golgi complex has three distinct forms. They are cisternae, tubules and vesicles. So cisternae are disc-shaped, flattened disc-shaped structures. You can observe here, the cisternae are flattened disc-like structures that are usually arranged parallel to each other. They are stacked parallel to each other, like one above the other. They are stacked one above the other or which are parallel to each other. So the cisternae are flattened disc-shaped structures that are stacked parallel to each other, and they are found near the nucleus, are associated with the nucleus. And the diameter of the cisternae varies from 0.5 to 1 micrometer, and they have got two distinct faces. And these two distinct phases are named as cis phase and trans phase. Cis phase and trans phase. So this is the cis phase, which is convex shape. Cis phase, and concave shaped is trans phase. So note that the cis phase is convex shaped, whereas trans phase is concave shaped. The convex shaped cis phase is known as forming phase. It is known as forming phase, whereas the concave shaped trans phase is known as maturing phase. Maturing phase. So the cisternae has two distinct phases. Which are those two distinct phases? Convex shape forming phase, which is known as cis phase, and concave shaped maturing phase, that is known as trans phase. Cis phase and trans phase. So next, let us see what are tubules. Tubules are network-like structures that usually connects the cisternae. They are network-like or tube-like structure. You can observe here on the peripheral side of the cisternae, there are tubular structures or tube-like structures which connects the cisternae. So these tube-like structures which connect the cisternae are called as tubules. Okay, and they vary in diameter from 30 to 50 nanometer. Next, let us see what are vesicles. Vesicles are spherical structures. They are very small spherical sac-like structures ranging in diameter from 20 to 80 nanometer. And these vesicles mainly store the components that has to be secreted. So they include or they consist of secretory products, and they are known as vesicles or secretory vesicles. So next, let us see what is the function of Golgi complex. Principal or main function of the Golgi complex is packaging of material. Once the materials are packed inside the Golgi complex, they have to be transported to various destinations or various places. So it has to be transported, or the packaged materials are transported either to any of the sites inside the cell. That is, they may be transported to intracellular targets. Intracellular targets means any of those places or target sites inside the cell. So the packed material may be transported or delivered to that particular site found inside the cell, or the packed material may be transported to outside the cell, or it may be secreted outside the cell. So the function of Golgi complex is to pack the material and to transport the packed material to any of the intracellular targets, or it will be secreted outside the cell. Then once the Golgi complex receives the products or receives any of the products, usually this Golgi complex is associated with endoplasmic reticulum. They are connected to endoplasmic reticulum. We know that they are the organelles that are associated with endomembrane system. So the Golgi complex is connected to endoplasmic reticulum, and you know that in endoplasmic reticulum, particularly in rough endoplasmic reticulum, protein synthesis takes place. So the proteins that are synthesized in the endoplasmic reticulum, they are transported to the Golgi complex, especially for further modification of protein. So the Golgi complex, especially in the cis phase, it is a forming phase. The cis phase of the Golgi complex receives those proteins that are formed in the endoplasmic reticulum. So proteins formed in the endoplasmic reticulum, proteins formed in the endoplasmic reticulum will be received in the cis phase of Golgi complex. They are transported or shifted towards the trans phase. So during the transportation of proteins from the cis phase to the trans phase, modification of proteins takes place, and the modified proteins are packed and then they are transported to various target sites. So modification of proteins that are synthesized by the ribosomes takes place inside the Golgi complex. In addition to that, the Golgi complex also helps in the formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids. Let us discuss about lysosomes. Lysosomes are also known as suicide bags or suicidal bags of a cell. They are very small vesicles that are mainly formed by the Golgi complex or Golgi apparatus. So lysosomes are very small vesicles that are mainly formed during the process of packaging in Golgi complex or Golgi apparatus. These lysosomes are formed. So what are these lysosomes packed with? What components are packed inside the lysosomes? Lysosomes are mainly packed with various hydrolytic enzymes. The hydrolytic, it is recorded that around 50 different types of hydrolytic enzymes can be packed inside the lysosomes. So some of those hydrolytic enzymes that are packed inside the lysosomes may be hydrolases. They may be lipases, proteases, carbohydrases, nucleases, phosphatases, peptidases, etc. So these enzymes have an important role in digesting various components. Usually the lipases are known for digest. They are the enzymes that can digest the lipids. Proteases are the enzymes that can digest the proteins. Carbohydrates are the enzymes that digest or breaks down the carbohydrates. Nucleases are the enzymes that break down or that can digest the nucleic acid. So various types of enzymes play an important role in digesting the components, complex components. So hydrolytic enzymes can digest various types of components that are engulfed by the cell. Okay. So let us see what are the functions of these lysosomes. Lysosomes play an important role in intracellular and extracellular digestion. What do you mean by term intracellular? Term intra refers to inside the cell. So what type of digestion takes place inside the cell? Suppose if any of the food components or any of the components are engulfed by the cell and they are not required by the cell, they are digested inside the cell, and that is known as intracellular digestion. Extracellular digestion is mainly by secretion of hydrolytic enzymes to the external medium. The hydrolytic enzymes are secreted out from the lysosomes into the external medium, and their various components are digested due to the presence of enzymes in lysosomes. Now, these lysosomes are also known for providing defense to our body. In our body, there are certain cells known as leukocytes or WBC cells, white blood cells. Among white blood cells, leukocytes are the white blood cells that provide defense to our body. And these leukocytes have got large number of lysosomes, and lysosomes are packed with hydrolytic enzymes. So how do these leukocytes provide defense to our body whenever the foreign particles or microorganisms or pathogens enter to our body? These pathogens or foreign particles are recognized by the leukocytes, and then they release or secrete the enzymes, hydrolytic enzymes, such that the microorganisms or the foreign particles are completely digested by the hydrolytic enzymes that are released by lysosomes. So in this way they provide defense to our body. And lysosomes are known for intracellular scavenging. So there are certain organelles or certain components that may not be or that are no longer required by the cell. So such worn out or damaged cell organelles or components are completely broken down by the enzymes that are present in lysosomes. So this process is known as intracellular scavenging. Also single membrane bound structures. They are single membrane bound space found in the cytoplasm. So the membrane that is present in the vacuole or the vacuole has got a single membrane, and the membrane is known as tonoplast. The membrane of vacuole is called as tonoplast. Tonoplast is the membrane of vacuoles. So these vacuoles contain various components like water, sap, excretory products, etc. The sap may include minerals, amino acids, sugars, etc. So sap may contain various types of ions, minerals, sugars, amino acids, etc. So vacuoles contain water, sap and various excretory products. There are different types of vacuoles found in different type of cells. So based on the cell type, their function, there are different types of vacuoles. Some of the vacuoles are contractile vacuoles, sap vacuoles, foot vacuoles, air vacuoles, etc. So we will see what are contractile vacuoles and where are these contractile vacuoles present. Contractile vacuoles are mainly found in organisms like amoeba. Single-celled organisms like amoeba have got contractile vacuoles. So what is the function of contractile vacuole in amoeba? The contractile vacuole in amoeba plays an important role in osmoregulation and excretion. Okay, they play an important role in osmoregulation and excretion. Next, sap vacuoles. Sap vacuoles are generally found in many of the plants, and these sap vacuoles mainly have got various components like amino acids, minerals, etc. And these sap vacuoles may also store various types of components that are formed in the plants. That is, the secondary metabolites that are formed in the plants may be packed within the vacuoles, or they may be present inside the vacuoles. For example, the sap vacuoles may contain tannins, and the sap vacuoles may contain latex, especially in the rubber plant. They may be packed with the latex. So sap vacuoles may store various types of components. It may be minerals, it may be amino acids, sugary components, latex, tannins, etc. Next, let us see about food vacuoles. Food vacuoles are found in many of the protists. Many of the protists have food vacuoles in their cell. So how are these food vacuoles formed? Food vacuoles are mainly formed by engulfing of food particles. Food vacuoles are formed by engulfing of food particles. So once the food particles are engulfed and food vacuoles are formed, various digesting enzymes may break down these food components and release various kinds of nutrients from these food components. Then air vacuoles. Air vacuoles are mainly found in some of the bacteria, and these store the air and they give buoyancy to some of the organisms. So these these are the different types of vacuoles found in different types of cells. So what are the functions of these vacuoles? And you know that in case of plants have got, the plant cell has got the large centrally located vacuole. This is very important to remember that the plants have got large centrally located vacuole. Large centrally located vacuole. Okay, so this centrally located vacuole almost occupies 90% of the volume of a plant cell. It occupies 90% of the volume of a plant cell. Okay, and these vacuoles, especially in the plants, play an important role in transportation of ions and other materials into the vacuole. So, if the cytoplasm has got varied concentration of ions or other components, they will be transported into the vacuole through the membrane known as chloroplast. So, generally inside the vacuole, the sac of the vacuole has got higher concentration. Inside the vacuole, the sac of a vacuole will be having higher concentration when compared to the cytoplasm, because the ions and various components will be transported into the vacuole across the chloroplast. And the main function of the vacuole is in different organisms they play different role, as we have discussed here. Contractile vacuole mainly for osmoregulation and excretion. Sac vacuole mainly stores various kinds of products. Food vacuoles mainly is formed due to engulfing of food. Air vacuoles mainly store the air. So vacuoles have various functions to perform based on the cell types. They may play an important role in osmoregulation, excretion, storage of air, storage of various food components, or storage of various secondary metabolites, especially in plants. So these are the different organelles that are associated with endomembrane system, and all these organelles that are associated with endomembrane system or that are included under endomembrane system, they have their functions that are coordinated with each other.